Okay. So we decided, B'ezrat Hashem, next week, Belina, there will talk about the halachot of the 3 weeks and whatever applies to whatever. You want to come? You want to move up a little closer? Come move up closer. So.
No, we already talked about it.
All right. If I'm not mistaken, the last thing that we said was that we should have Havdala in a Beit Knesset. It is a very, very good thing to do it because there are a lot of people that don't have the ability to do. They don't have the wine. They don't have that know-how to say Havdala at home. So to definitely do say it in the Beit Knesset. However, a person must definitely try not to rely on the Havdala in the Beit Knesset and make Havdala at home. It brings a beracha. It's a good thing and it's more proper. The person listens and does it properly. As opposed to in shul, it's not such an easy thing to go ahead and do it. Now, and I don't remember if you mentioned this. If a person did make Havdala in the shul, let's say it was the Shaliach Tzibur or the rabbi or whatever it was, he was put in the position to make Havdala in shul. Now he comes home, and what's going to happen with his household? So number one, if they could do Havdala on their own, they should. If they're not comfortable, they want the father to do to make it, or they don't know how to do it, for whatever reason, then he could make Havdala again, even though he made Havdala already, and allow them to make Borei Mini Besamim or Borei Atze Besamim or Borei Mor and Borei Mor Ha'esh on their own. He doesn't have to do that again. Right? Just make Borei Gefen and Havdala, and then after he drinks the wine, let them go ahead and make a Borei Mini Besamim and follow the rest. Okay, so he could basically say Borei Gefen, Baruch Atah Hashem Hamavdil Ben Kodesh Shechol Or Lechodesh, and then once he's finished with that, they take a besamim and they make a beracha on besamim. They take the candle and they make a borei ma'oreh ha'esh. They could do that. Alternatively, what he could do is say borei gefen, wait for them to say borei atze besamim, borei ma'oreh ha'esh. He shouldn't say amen because it's going to be hafsek between his borei gefen and making havdalah. Wait for them to say those berachot and then move on and say the beracha of hamavdil. Good. So last week people asked, what about women drinking the wine of Havdala? Are we really going to grow a mustache or not? It's a Shelah. Found it. Baruch Hashem. Shelah, Sefer Shnei Luchot HaBerit, Am Masechet Shabbat, Perek Torah, or Seif Mem. Just giving you the address. Let it be recorded. He writes that according to one of the opinions, the tree that was part of the Chet of Adam HaRishon was, according to one opinion, was a grape, right? Some say it was wheat, some say it was a fig, some say it was grape, right? No apple, sorry, no one said apple. There's another opinion that says it was an etrog. And the tree, it was a grape, and it says over there that she squeezed the grape and gave it to him, and he drank it. So being that it was that, so now the punishment came that it's a resemblance of blood and the whole menstrual system, and she wanted to be with him. Now they're going to be separated because of that, and that is the venom of the snake. It goes into some Kabbalistic terminology, but whatever it is in connection with that, and that is why ladies do not taste the wine of Havdala.
They shouldn't, or
they don't. It's just a custom that they don't. That he is the source. He is the first one I think that brings it. Kaf HaChaim also brings it, but then they argue with him. They argue with him others, and they say no, this is only according to the custom of Ashkenazi, that the ladies do not make Havdalah. For us Sephardim, ladies do make Havdalah, and obviously if you make Havdalah, you have to drink it. So that's where we're at. If you're not making Havdalah, you're listening to Havdalah, you don't have to drink it. Don't drink it, right? Who drinks it? And if unless kids want to grow their mustache, they drink it, But I don't know where that comes from, though. They just wanted to scare them, I think. But if they are making Havdala, then obviously, like, they can say, oh, I can't drink it, women shouldn't drink it. That's not a problem. Not only it's not a problem, you must. When you make Havdala, you gotta drink the wine.
Sorry. What about eating? Like they say you can't eat until you make...
For that, you have to listen to last week's recording.
I think I need to listen to a whole year.
So we said, so let's just recap very quickly. If a person ate Seudah Shilishit before sunset, right? And now afterwards just munching, eating some fruit or cakes and stuff, once it's sunset, has to stop. Has to stop eating whatever it is. If he's eating Seudah Shilishit, that means they washed and they're eating bread, and the Seudah goes way after even the darkness. No problem. Continue eating, no problem, because you're still within the Seudah, within a meal. But if you're not within a meal, then you have to stop. If you didn't eat Seudah Shilishit yet, and he wants to eat some fruit, let's say for Seudah Shilishit, if it's sunset, eat right away. Fruit or drink, whatever it is, quickly, and that's it. Right? But once the stars have come out, that means 15 minutes after sunset, then cannot eat anymore. Even if you started eating, you must cease. You don't have to stop eating.
Sunset?
No, 15 minutes after sunset. Let's say 8:05 is sunset. 8:20, for example, just an example, has to stop eating altogether. This is only if he's not eating bread. He's not eating Seudah Shilishit with bread. Okay? So now, no eating until you make Havdala. No drinking until you make Havdala. Halachically, if one is very thirsty, they could drink water. Right? Until after, before Havdala. However, we mentioned that Kabbalistically, they say really scary stuff about one who even drinks water before Havdala, at that time. I don't want to tell you what they say. Okay?
So, I'm sorry, when I say soda, so if you washed and you're eating, you can go until...
10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night.
So
I say them do that.
So it doesn't apply then?
If you're eating bread, right?
Right.
If the person is not eating
Still
bread,
considered Shabbat, you're not
right? You're
Shabbat.
still in the energy of Shabbat. So that's perfectly fine.
So your benching and everything is still gonna include blitzing and all that. Still considered Shabbat.
Even 2 hours after Shabbat is over, and you just saying Birkat Hamazon now, you could say Retzeva Chalitzenu and everything. It's fine.
So you have to hear Havdala to eat, even if you like say Havdala Kodesh Havdala. Let's say you're waiting for somebody to come say Havdala, Shabbat's over, and you're
Very good, excellent. We'll get to that. When and if a person could eat, right? Do you have to make the Havdala, or do we say that once, let's say you prayed Arvit, and in Arvit you say Atachon Antanu, is that sufficient to allow you to eat? The answer is no. You have to make Havdala, like the Takana of the Chachamim, a person has to make Havdala, and then one would be allowed to eat.
What about like nursing?
That's a little
always
different.
hungry?
That's a little different. So the best thing to do, like we mentioned before, they should make Havdala. Right away, as soon as they can, they should make Havdala. Don't wait for anyone. Sephardi women, they could make Havdala on their own. You don't have to wait for anyone. You don't have to wait for a minyan. You don't have to do
you
anything.
can't
Just
drink all that wine though. If they're nursing.
drink grape juice. Grape
What
juice is
if
fine.
they don't? Like, they eat and then they wait for Havdala? Like, you can't do that at all?
Well, it's not. We're not gonna kill her, But I would say it would be disrespectful to Havdala that a person would do that unless they're a chole. A person, a lady who's nursing might be under the rule of a sick person, and she needs to. Then that takes precedence. But again, it could easily be taken care of to make Havdala quickly, and that's it. So we're talking about half hour, right? Difference. So if a person can make Havdala until someone comes, rather than wait until someone comes to make Havdala. Okay. Good. So let's start with Havdala. So a person has to be careful with the cup of Havdala, like we mentioned before, about Kiddush, right? That the cup should be whole, shouldn't have any cracks, shouldn't have any holes. And that also the wine shouldn't be pagum. What does it mean the wine is pagum, blemished? That means someone drank either from the bottle, right, or from the cup. So then that wine becomes blemished, cannot be used for kiddush. Right? It's disrespectful to make kiddush on such a thing. How can you fix that? You could fix it by adding a little bit wine to that cup. Right? This is someone drank from the cup. One of the kids drank from the cup. So you could add a little bit wine to it, or not wine, a little bit water, right? And that would be perfect, right? However, this is only if the cup has been drunk from. But if the cup, nobody drank from the cup, we do not add water to the cup of Havdala whatsoever. Okay? Kabbalistically, Friday night, Shabbat morning, we add 3 drops of water. Not for Havdala. This halakha is not for Havdala. Mekubalim, they say, do not add water to the cup of Havdala. Now, what if you have some wine, and you poured it, you have enough measure, but the cup is not full? It's not nice. You're going to make Havdalah in a half-empty cup. What can you do? First of all, we can't put that much water because then the barakah becomes shahakol. So what could you do? Funny. Rabbi just said in Shiur, he said, put a couple of walnuts so it'll come up. Or put some dates. What? Or ice. Yeah. Ice, dates. What else did he say? Things like that. Just fill it up so it'll come up. So the cup will look full. And Baruch Hashem, that's, sugar cubes. Put a couple of sugar cubes. I don't think they'll, by the time you finish, it's going to be... anyway, so that's that. Someone who doesn't have wine, does not have grape juice, what can one do? So he could make Havdala on what's called Chamar Medina. Chamar Medina means a drink which is important in that country. Usually, it has to be an alcoholic beverage, right? Whiskey, vodka, you name it. This sort of, or even beer. Not black beer, not malt beer, beer. It has to be. But coffee, tea, juices, no. Rabbi says one who makes Havdala on those is the Beracha Levatala. Right? Rather be, let's say, with Atachon Antanu, with Havdala in the Tefillah, than this. They're not considered Chamar Medina because it has to be Meshaker, it has to be something that could have some alcohol in it, and therefore they can't be used, these things. Natural grape juice is better than all these things, right? After wine, natural grape juice is perfect, and one could go ahead and use that for Havdalah.
So in seminary, some girls missed Havdalah and then we didn't have any wine or things to make it, and they would say like, oh, we can make it on coffee or tea or Coke.
Right. Some Ashkenazi poskim bring that. That's and Rabbi totally disagrees. I don't know if the Sephardiya listens to Havdalah that they made could be Yotzeh or not. I'm not so sure. I don't know. Maybe.
So you have to go to the store and buy it, make Havdalah the next day, go buy wine the next day and make it? What would you do in that situation?
If you have the ability to go to someone and get some grape juice or wine and make Havdalah on it, good. Because whiskey is tough. Whiskey, you gotta drink, you gotta drink 3 ounces of it. Although they say if a person has a hard time with whiskey, you could drink it slowly, but oh my gosh, I can't even imagine. Hasidim, they do it no problem, but I don't know. So if you can go and borrow and get from somewhere easily, then you could do it. Not even easily, but if not, then you're in trouble because just if you have said Arvit and during Arvit you say Atachon Antana, you're good to go. You could just rely on that Havdalah. In that case, yeah. So that's the wine. So we hold the cup. Yes.
The grape juice that's like light or blush or peach flavor, are those all considered okay?
Yeah. They're not. If it's kedem, definitely it's okay because kedem doesn't add water. Kedem only uses grape juice for sweetening it, and it's totally grape juice.
So even if it's light.
Even if it's light,
they're not adding water or anything.
No, they don't add water. The kedem wine, they don't. Others, I'm not sure. Manischewitz and what's the other one? Welch's grape juice, right? And those, I don't know. Israeli, Tirosh, Hashem Yerachem, I don't know.
Okay, so the kedem, all the flavors.
Yes, Kedem is known. Kedem is known. Rabbi Blumenkrantz writes that they don't have water. They're fine.
So Havdala is like a bigger deal than Kiddush. 'Cause there's
Havdala,
so
yeah.
many things
Right.
that are okay for.
We have to be correct. That is correct. Havdalah, we got to be really careful. See, by Kiddush, this is a Kiddush in the morning. If you don't have, we say, if you don't have wine, you can make it on Chamar Medina. If you don't have that, all you need really to have a heker, to have some sort of a recognition that this is the Shabbat Seudah. So, okay, fine, make it Shahakol on whatever, who cares, you know. You don't have. But here, this is more serious. In this case, we have to be extra careful. Great. Now, the next component in Havdalah is Besamim. Why do we have to make a Besamim on Motzei Shabbat?
You say goodbye to your neshama yetera?
Correct. Right? We make a beracha on the Besamim. Why? Because everyone, Baruch Hashem, gets a zechut, he gets an added neshama. Not just a neshama, you know, we get nefesh, ruach, and neshama. 3 components. They get added to our nefesh, ruach, and neshama. So a person gets an added dosage to himself on Shabbat. And it all depends on the person's actions. It all depends on what level he is, how much he prepared himself. It all depends on that. That neshama that comes upon a person on Shabbat, it all depends how much preparation he put into it. Someone who just entered Shabbat, it's going to be a very low level. Someone who really prepares, really does does a lot, and thinks and meditates and gets ready. Like the Ben Ish Chai says, I think we mentioned it before, B'dibur, in his speech, he says tefillot, and in machshava, and his thought, and in action, he prepares, cleans the house, all these things. So definitely that the neshama yetera that comes to the person is going to be of a greater level. Motzei Shabbat, this neshama yetera leaves us, and a person is depressed, is sad. That's why we make a beracha on Besamim. Why Besamim? Because Besamim is something spiritual. Smell, the power of smell is something spiritual. As we know, when Adam HaRishon, it all goes back to Chet of Adam HaRishon. When Adam HaRishon committed the sin and he ate from the fruit, this eating is not just eating, it was some pleasure that he gained. And he says, Nechmad lemar'eh, so he sinned with his eye, right? And he touched it, and he ate it. So taste, seeing, all these things sin, except for smell. It doesn't say that he smelled anything, so he didn't commit a sin with his sense of smell. That is why on Yom Kippur we refrain from a lot of pleasures except for the pleasure of smell. There is a much deeper Kabbalistic reason for this as well. That on Yom Kippur, Sephardim especially, they're big into this. Besides trying to make the 100 barachot that we talked about so much, and on Yom Kippur we're definitely missing it. So we try to smell something, make a baracha, go outside, come back in, again make a baracha. We gotta get to our 100 barachot. And Sephardim, within Sephardim, this whole baracha of mitzvah is great.
Is that why the person who said Havdala in the shul can't say Havdala? I can't say Besamim again in the house?
He could. No, that's not why. Because he could say it because it's just as a part of the whole thing system. He could go ahead and repeat it. Unless they could do it themselves, then he shouldn't say it, right? Then they should say the beracha themselves, and he'll just say the Havdala. If he wants to gain another beracha, then that's not bad. Not bad. But okay. So now, with the sense of smell, it will settle his soul, settle his neshama when he does it by Havdalah to go ahead and make a beracha. It says, Uvayom HaShevi'i Shavat Vayinafash. Right? Uvayom HaShevi'i Shavat Vayinafash. So it's a midrash in Bereshit. It says, Kevan Sheshavat, once he finished Shabbat, Vay lenefesh. Avdal lenefesh. Vay nafash. Vay, woe is to the soul. Why? Because the neshama yetera left. So in Farsi also we say vay, so it says vay nefesh, vay nafash. So that's it. The Kabbalistically, again, we do a lot of Kabbalah tonight. It is customary to use hadassim. to use hadassim myrtles for Havdala if possible. Okay, and we try to hold it as they grow, like upwards. You should hold them upwards. And if you want even more Kabbalah, it has to be mishulash, like the ones that they use on Sukkot. There's a lot of controversy about this, back and forth. But anyway, that's what it is. But if a person doesn't have, you could use even ginger roots. They smell good. Or what was it? Cloves, if you like the smell. Cinnamon sticks. It's amazing.
Doesn't matter if it's ground.
Doesn't matter. Ground, sticks.
Anything that smells good.
Anything that is
Roses.
we're gonna see. Not everything that smells good could be used. But yeah, perfume is not. Perfume something is like chemicals, and we don't know exactly the root of the good smell. That would be tough. Some say you could.
I have a jar from Israel. It's like a little flower inside, and it smells
There's
like pine
oil.
soles.
There's oils there in that jar. You have like different good smelling oils and like it's all cholent. Right. So now, Shulchan Aruch brings down. This is from the Gemara. It says, "En levarech al besamim shel bet hakiseh." Right? You cannot make a baracha on the besamim of bet hakiseh, of the restroom, right? Because that is used for removing bad odor. It's not used for a positive good smell. You cannot make a baracha of besamim on that, right? It's not made for smell. It's made for removing odor, right? It says also in mishtameshim bebesamim shel metim, right? Someone who passes away, they put some besamim around there, like in that area. That's done for kavod of the met, of the corpse, and we do not use that for besamim.
Is that rose water?
Yeah, they put rose water, no?
They put rose water.
We shouldn't.
That rose water,
Mint water.
time out. Rose water that they have in the stores, all the different brands, I don't know, Portas and Sadaf and all these things, is a question. Because I'm not sure if there is a real essence of rose in this water. So overall, there's a question on these if you make a baracha. So, sorry. At all. Make a baracha of mine besamim on them at all.
Forever making this.
I know.
The bracha on golab.
It's really, if it's a real golab, you've seen how real golab is made, right? You take a pod, my mother used to do it all the time. You take a pod, you put all these leaves of the rose in it, and then you bring it to a boil, and then there's another pod, and there's a whole system where this is distilled, and that's a real golab. These that they have in the store, I don't know. It's a question on them. It's a question if you could even make a baracha at all.
Flowers, best flower.
Flower is amazing. Yes, if you have good flowers. What is that rose? It's called Pink Floyd. Has an amazing smell. Jasmine has, that's Sebesamim. Rosy, that's Sebesamim. You have to know. We're going to get to that. One more thing. If there is things that they bring from a church, that's avodah zarah. We can't make a baracha on those, right? So also, let's say there was some very good smelling thing in a bowl. Now it's not there. They took it away, but the bowl really smells good. You cannot make a baracha on it because the ikar, that which was the source of the smell, is not there, and therefore we cannot use it. Cannot use that for etzev esami. Clear. Now, someone who cannot smell, he has a cold, cannot smell, is patur. Is exempt from the beracha of the besamim. Havdala, no, he should stop. For others that could smell Baruch Hashem, they should make the beracha, and then he continues on. Right? He cannot make a besamim for others. Right? He says, "Oh, you know what, guys? I can't smell. I make a beracha for you guys to be yotzei." You can't do that. You have to. If it's berachat nehenim, it's a beracha that you have to have benefit from. Then you have to have benefit from. You can't do it for other people, and therefore he cannot do it.
So
Now,
you can't say amen to that bracha either?
he himself cannot.
If,
Right.
Oh, really?
If,
Right,
if,
right.
if someone is saying it for me and I can't smell,
Right, you can't.
then I don't say amen. to
That's
that.
correct. Thank you. Yes, you can, because that would be hefsek for you. You're not connected to this beracha. This beracha is not for you. what if he's making the beracha for his kids? Then that's for chinuch. Then he could, for them, he could make a beracha and they'll smell. The kids will smell, that is fine because it's for kids. For adults, they should make the beracha on their own. Now, there is a little offshoot for this halachot. You're not sure if you could smell. You have a cold, you're not sure. So always, or you don't know if this thing smells good, always smell it first before you make a beracha. Right? Always smell it first. Oh, Baruch Hashem has a smell, make a beracha and smell it. That's a big help. The person is allowed to smell it just to make sure if they have a smell or he could smell. Now, in the berachot, there are different ones. There is beracha borei atzeh b'samim. That's like hadassim, roses, jasmine, goliyas that we have right outside. What else? These things are borei atzeh b'samim. Then there is mint and peppermint. These are isbeh b'samim. Then we have real borei mineh b'samim. That's what is that? That's real golab. Cinnamon is atzeh b'samim.
Is it?
Yeah, cinnamon is atzeh. Cloves are atzeh b'samim. Right.
How do you know the difference?
How do you know
What's
It becomes a big halacha thing. Like, anything that the stem stays throughout the year is atzeh b'samim. Different things. Anything that has branches is atzeh b'samim.
I'd say like with it sounds
Like ants.
Atzeh. Atzeh b'samim. Right.
So what
Sephardim
else
say
is
atzeh b'samim. What?
What else is
Hala isbeh is mint, peppermint. Nothing else comes to my mind right now. But yeah, that's good enough. You have mint flakes, let's say, at home. Yeah, you could use it. That's another bracha on Shabbat, by the way. Add it.
Cinnamon
Isbeh.
powder.
Cinnamon powder is atzeh b'samim.
And what about that yellow thing like I told you comes in that jar?
I don't know. That's cholent. I really don't know. I don't know what it is. You have to know what it is. Probably mineh b'samim. When we don't know, Ashkenazim, they say mineh b'samim because of this reason. Because maybe someone is not an expert, can't tell the difference. So they say, make it borei mineh b'samim, and that's it. We say Faradim, Baruch Hashem. What do you mean? We know basil. I think basil is also atzeh b'samim, if I'm not mistaken. There's different types of basil, and there's that. And then we have noten reach tov b'perot. You take a lemon, you rub it, smells great. Make a beracha. Noten reach tov b'perot. Baruch Hashem. We have so many things.
What's borei mineh?
Borei mineh is golab, real golab. That's borei mineh b'samim. Something that is, there are oils, there are certain animal oils, musk. That's also borei mineh b'samim.
flowers, like actual flower?
Flowers are usually either atzeh or isbeh, depending on the flower.
Which flower there is?
I don't know. You're hung up on isbeh.
I know.
There is a book. I have to check. I have at home. Birkat Rafael is called. It has pictures and the berachot. It's in Hebrew.
So if you can't
English also.
smell that someone else is making the bracha, can you say amen?
No.
They're making it for themselves.
They're making for themselves. And for themselves, they're not making for you. They're making Havdala.
They're saying it for like 10 people in the
Yeah,
room.
of course. It's a beracha someone is making. Of course you could do. If he's not making for you, right?
What if you're included in the bracha?
But then it's gonna, because you're being yotzeh between the beracha borei peri gefen and the beracha of hamavdi ben kodesh lecho, you have answered an extra amen that wasn't needed because the atzeh b'samim doesn't relate to you. That's when we're saying don't. Otherwise, a person could and should. So remember last week we talked about the importance of amen. Did I tell you a story about Rav Ovadia and the beracha of atzeh and isbeh?
No.
I didn't tell you?
No.
Oh wow, I gotta tell you this. This is, although I should have said it, I can't believe I didn't say it. So it was on the 10th yortzeit of Rabbanit Margalit, 10th yortzeit. We were, Baruch Hashem, we were in Israel and they made a whole Yom Shekulo Torah. The whole day they were teaching Torah. The last speaker, of course, was Rav Ovadia. He came and by then the place was packed in Har Nof and Yechavedar. Everybody was there. Rav Ovadia said the Torah. Then at the end, I don't know how, he always, I don't know if you know, he always sat crooked. He always sat towards one way. He turned this time even more. I don't know why. And he started saying stories, crazy stories, crazy stories. And one of the stories was like this. He said his wife, Rabbanit, Margalit, she always saw to it that he had Atzeve Samim, Isveve Samim. She always saw to it that on Shabbat, and he would make all these barachot to complete the 100 barachot. He said after the Rabbanit was nifteret, everything was a mishmash at home and everything. That Shabbat, he was very sad. He didn't have anything to make a baracha. Nobody was there to take care of it. So he said, okay, like, Shiva and everything was over already, I think, before Shabbat. And the Sunday morning, there is a person in Shechona, in the neighborhood of Harnov, comes to the house. He says, Mechila, Mechila. He says, whoa, what's wrong? He says, Rabbanit came to me last night in my dream, upset at me. Why didn't you take care of my husband? To make sure that he has what to make a baracha on. He didn't have Atzeb and Ispeh on Shabbat. He says he came to me begging for forgiveness. He says, you see how much he takes care of me? What he was telling us. You see how much he still takes care of me? 10 years later, he said a couple of other spooky stories too. Maybe we'll save for a different time. No, I gotta learn some halachot. Now, on Motzei Shabbat, right? On Motzei Shabbat, we have another mitzvah to make the beracha of Boreh Me'oreh Ha'esh. We have to make a beracha on a candle. Okay? Why? Why is that? Let's get to the bottom of this also. Why? Because the fire was created by Adam HaRishon on Motzei Shabbat. That's why in Ata Chonen LaAdam Da'at, that is the beracha where we say Ata Chonantanu, the Havdala, because a human being has the power to make a distinction between Or and Choshech, Kodesh Lechol. And that is the time that Hashem gave the Chokhmah to Adam HaRishon. This is Masachet Pesachim, Daf Peh Chet, 88. I'm sorry, not Peh Chet, Nun Dalet, 54. Over there, it says that Hashem gave that wisdom to Adam HaRishon, and he took two rocks and he attached them, hit them to one another, and he created a light. There is an interesting midrash. It says that Adam HaRishon, it's a long midrash, Midrash Bereshit Rabbah. It says that Adam HaRishon, that first 36 hours of creation, the light wasn't the light of the sun. It was a special light that was created in the beginning of the creation. That's what was giving light. So that means first 12 hours, it was that light. Then the 12 hours of the Friday night, it was that light. And the second 12 hours of the whole Shabbat was that light. Once Shabbat was over, that light was gone. That light should have been gone, taken away already before Shabbat. But for the kavod of Shabbat, Hashem kept that light, and then it was taken away. So night, it became dark. Adam HaRishon says, oh, what did I do? I brought darkness into the world, and he was so sad and everything. Hashem sent to him these two rocks, and he hit them to one another, and he saw that there is a fire. So he saw there is an ability that even within darkness, you could create a light. It's a deep philosophical thing, and he had joy and happiness from this. So that is the reason why. So now, why do we only do it for light? Do it for everything else in creation, right? Everything else that was created also make a baracha for it. They say it's only it was only set aside for this because the whole Shabbat we were assured to use fire to create fire, and now other creations they're all constant. We're using them Shabbat weekday. We're going to make a baracha on them. But this, because the whole Shabbat it was asur to use it, now it is allowed, that's what we do. That's also, by the way, we don't make a Boreh Moresh after Yom Tov, but we do make a Boreh Moresh after Yom Kippur, because Yom Kippur also, like Shabbat, we couldn't create and use fire the whole Yom Kippur.
Sorry, so
Yeah.
we say Boreh Esh because that's when, not when
We are benefiting from the fire, right, which was created now on Motzei Shabbat. That is why we make Boreh Moresh, to be able to again benefit from it, from that.
fire was created on the Shabbat.
Correct.
So, just I had a question.
Yeah.
It's like, you mentioned Yom Kippur. So, like women who are home with kids on Yom Kippur, right? When Yom Kippur ends, you could eat. So, the best thing is to first do Havdala, or
Right.
So you just do
Make
Havdala.
Havdala right away and eat. don't worry about the Borah Marash. That you don't have to run around after the candle. If you have it ready, okay, Borah Marash also. Besamim we don't do after Yom Kippur. But Borah Marash, usually we light one of these long candles, and on that you could make the Borah Marash. That's fine.
It has to be on before.
It has to be, right.
The light has to be.
That is correct. It cannot be a light that you just lit after Yom Kippur, but that we discussed. We got a couple of months to go. Not too long, but yeah. But for Motzei Shabbat, so this is why we make this beracha.
If you're in a hospital.
Good question. All right, that asks your local rabbi. In a hospital, it's pretty easy. If a goy turns it on, it's easy. You could use it. Turns it on, and then from that you light a candle. It's the second light. From that should be fine if I'm not mistaken. Now, if
Talking about Shabbat?
Yom Kippur, right?
No, I'm talking about Motzei Shabbat. You said you can't use that either for.
Right, that we can't do at all.
So for
Not
sure we
fluorescent,
have to
not even incandescent. We can't.
What do we do?
Matches. You light a match, put them on ash.
Lock the door.
Yes, yes, they.
They'll go crazy. Yeah, 2 seconds is that. What are they going to do? Kick you out of the hospital? Call the police? I don't know. Okay, why do we say Boreh Me'oreh Ha'esh? Why don't we say Boreh Me'or Ha'esh? Hashem created the light of the fire. What's Me'oreh? Why is it in a plural language? Because 2 reasons. Rashi writes because the flame has a few different colors: white, red, bluish, greenish. It has all these. Ravad writes because fire is multifaceted. You could use fire for heating, fire for cooking, fire for lighting, fire for making, manufacturing things. So that's Boreh Me'oreh Ha'esh. We're thanking Hashem for the many uses of fire. The best thing to do, a lot of people get confused with this, the best thing to do for Havdala is to use an avuka. Avuka means a torch. What is a torch? That means something that has more than one wick. Okay? That's the best thing to do. So the question is, should the wicks be touching or not? Should the flames be touching or not? So really, they don't even have to be touching the flames. Even the flames, it could be 2 separate flames, and that is already an avuka, that is a torch, because it's more than one wick. Better to attach the flames. If you touch the wicks together, then it becomes one. It's like one wick. But when you separate the wicks, but the flames are touching, there is a perfect shalhevet. These Havdala candles that they have, they're perfect. Some of them have 7, some of them have 3. It doesn't matter. As long as it's 2, it's good to go. If you don't want to, if you don't have one, then just take 2 candles and make a beracha. That's the best thing. Now, what if a person doesn't have it? You don't have 2 candles. You only have 1 candle. So no Boreh Me'oreh Ha'esh. Of course, you can make a Boreh Me'oreh Ha'esh on 1 candle. It's not asur, So therefore, one is allowed to go ahead and make a beracha on just 1 candle, which is perfectly fine. When you have 2, then you could see more lights, more fire, and that's good.
So if you have like 2 tea lights and you can't put them together because then they're gonna blow
Good.
themselves out, you could just leave
Yes, use them. That's perfectly fine.
them.
Good. Now, a person cannot make a Boreh Me'oreh Ha'esh unless he sees the flame, right? There's a big place, and they're making Havdala. So there are people they're sitting in the corner of the shul, and they go like that, Chazak Baruch, they wave, hi, I'm here. This is not Boreh Me'oreh Ha'esh. I don't know what this is, So they weren't Yotzei the Beracha Boreh Me'oreh Ha'esh. You are Yotzei the Beracha Boreh Ha'esh when you benefit from the flame. That's the whole idea. That means until you benefit from the light, you have to go and directly from it. So if the flame is covered with glass, you cannot make a beracha on it. You have to remove the glass in order to make a beracha of Boreh Me'oreh Ha'esh. That's why in any light, any electric light in Kedushin, forget about fluorescent, that's not fire really. Even in Kedushin, which is fire, somewhat, even on that we cannot do Borem or Ha'esh. There was a time, I'm sorry?
You are benefiting from it. Let's say even
But
if
it's
a glass
not
in front.
direct. The glass is going is coming between you.
So direct.
Right, it has to be direct. About 100 years ago, one of the Chachamim, he made Havdala on a light bulb. He wanted to show the people this is fire, people. We cannot turn it on Shabbat. That was then. Now everybody knows Baruch Hashem, whoever cares. But when it comes to Havdala, 100% one cannot make Borem or Ha'esh on a light. What about glasses? Right? That's not direct. Glasses is between you and the thing. They said, no, that's fine. That's an extension of the eye, and a person could go ahead and still make a bracha on the candle. Now, it has to be that you're close enough to the flame, enough. The Gemara says that you could tell between the coin of this country to another country, right? Two different coins. You could tell. Oh, this is Britain. This is Canada. I don't know what. I don't know why I didn't say U.S., but okay. I guess it's going out of business.
That's how close you have to be?
Close enough. No, that's you could be a couple about 10. I'd say 5-6 feet away for sure. You could tell from the light of the candle to be able to tell the difference. There's another way to do it, and with this, we're going overtime. The best thing to do, right, is the custom is we look at the palm of our hand in the light. Zohar HaKadosh says one should bend his forefingers. Ari HaKadosh adds, and with the forefingers you should cover your thumb. Thus, right? You bend the forefingers, with them you cover your thumb, and they should be facing you. They should be facing you, and the light is between you and your fingernails, and see the reflection of the Havdala candle on your nails, and tell the difference between your nail and the flesh. 1, and 2, read the lines on your palm of your hand. How do you like that?
What do you mean read the line?
Just look at the lines. That's all.
You go like
You're not,
this.
don't be a palm reader. No, like this.
Like this?
Like this.
Why do you cover
You-
your thumb?
Don't ask questions.
What if you're wearing nail polish? I don't know.
Oh yeah, what if you're raising
Ooh, better reflection. I don't know.
Oh,
What's
so like this
Hug
over
it,
the
yeah.
one hand? Only your right hand. Only your right hand? Exactly like that. Exactly.
just one hand?
One hand, only the right hand. The Zohar, I'm just reading the language of the Zohar. He says use your right hand. Now, what's going on? What's with the nails? First of all, so that you could benefit from the light, right? It's very easy because there's a reflection off of your nails. And second of all, Adam HaRishon before the Chet, he says in Pirkei Rabbi Eliezer, it was covered with a substance which was like a nail. And when it was taken away from him, he was sad. And when he created the fire and he saw the reflection on his nails, that's what remained, he was happy. Oh, I still have nails. That little levush, that little cloth, whatever it was that I had before the Chet, before the sin, I still have that. And he was very happy. So as a remembrance,
So why are the nails so
unholy.
it's problematic?
Oh, wait. There's another reason. Third reason. So one reason is to use the light. Second reason is Adam HaRishon, that whole thing. Third reason, because nails they grow. It's Pirya, it's multiplication, it's going to be more beracha, right? And that is, that's what we do. Why are nails? That's the extra. The extra that comes, kelip. Because it has kedusha, because there is a certain level of kedusha on the nails, that's why the extra, those kelipot, those negative powers, attach themselves to it. That's the thing. All right? I don't know, tonight we're doing a lot of